Welcome to the Let's Get Sentimental video hop from Altenew. My name is Lori Patterson. I'm going to show you how to make a card today using a hot foil background. So what you're going to need is a piece of white cardstock, which is what I'm showing you there, and then the Journey Abroad hot foil plate is the one I'm using for today. And there it is. And the hot foil plate happens to come with 4 stencils that you can then color in all the little sections of the hot foil plate. We're going to use the Mega Greetings 3 stamp set and gold foil. So I need to heat up my glimmer machine. This is from Spellbinders. I've had it only a few months and used it 4 or 5 times, 3 or 4 times, not a lot. So I'm still learning how to use it. So you plug it in, turn it on, and then it's heating up right now. And you can see there's a kind of a orange light there. When the second light starts blinking, or excuse me, when the second light turns green, that means that it's ready to start the process of heating up your foil plates. So right now I'm cutting the foil to fit my foil plate and waiting for the glimmer machine to heat up. I want to make sure that the foil itself is as big as I need it to be. And you'll see in a moment I had the plate not quite on the card, and it's not going to matter because I'm just going to cut that off. So my front panel is going to have a white border. Now I'm going to choose the colors that I'm going to color the background with. So I've chosen hydrangea, I've chosen forest glades, puffy heart, and fresh leaf, and then I removed the forest glades because I decided I wanted a yellow and added the fresh lemon. Notice that the green light is now solid, so now it's time to add the foil plate to start heating that up. So I'm going to put that on there. It's hot, so I'm being very careful. I push the timer button once I get it the way I want it. And then the timer starts blinking. When the timer light turns solid, then I know it's time to put the foil on and then my paper on and get ready to run it through my die cut machine. So what this is going to do, it's going to impress with the heat from the glimmer machine and the pressure from the die cut machine and embed that gold right into the paper. And I get my paper, I don't get my paper lined up right. It's fine on what we're looking at on the left side, but I've got it overhung too far on the right side, and you'll see that I missed some of it. But as I said before, it doesn't matter because we're going to trim it down. Then I add the 2 plates, which is the thin wafer, the thin plate, and then the shim, I think it's called. And then I take that whole thing and run it through my die cut machine. Once I take off those plates, I can peel back the foil, and you can see how beautiful that is. And that really is nice. And I say it doesn't matter that because cutting it off. So I'm going to remove this, set it off to the side, and start stenciling. So I'm starting with number 2. I'm going to line up the stencil with the background And then using a blending brush, I color in all the spaces there. I'm starting with the pink. I'm laying the stencil over, then coloring with a specific color, peeling off the stencil, wiping everything down, and then putting the next stencil down. So this would be number 3 because we started with 2, and then put that color down. And I'm just doing that for the whole card. And you can see what each color looks like. I'm cleaning my stencils in between each one. That one doesn't look like it was clean, but it was. Some of the ink stain the stencils. It doesn't hurt them at all. It doesn't, as long as you clean them, it doesn't rub off onto the next project. To color the very last set of spaces on this template, or on this stencil, you need to flip the stencil over. So they give you 4 stencils, and rather than giving you a 5th one that's exactly the same as the 4th, only flipped, they just tell you to flip it over, so that's good. The next thing I do is trim the edges off of the top and the bottom. I think I trimmed about 1/4 of an inch off of each side. And I'm going to die cut the word love out of gold paper, because I'm using gold because the hot foil was gold. So the background, grid mark is gold. And then I'm going to stamp with Versamark, Scent with and Hugs, and heat emboss with gold embossing powder. In this case, I've decided to heat emboss the sentiment twice. Kind of makes it a little bolder, a little more professional looking, possibly. And then I'm using the Altenew Featured Sentiments dies to cut out those 2 sentiments. I wanted to make the love a little sturdier and stand up a little bit, so I die cut another love with just on white paper, and then I'm gluing that to the gold one. Gives it a little more dimension. And then I'm going to glue all of that down to create my final card. I'm using some Altenew foam tape to pop up the Scent with and Hugs, and then I'll mount it on a white card base. I do love how the gold embossing on the words, the gold foil in the back, and the big gold love shines when you move it around. It really makes, I think it makes a pretty card. I also made another card exactly the same, but I used dark colors. And the very first stencil that I didn't use on the first card, I used for the second, and used black to stencil over that. So there are my 2 cards that I made for this video hop. Thank you very much for joining me, and I'm the last video on the hop. Please be sure to give me a thumbs up and make a comment to be entered into the giveaway. If you started in the middle of the hop, please hop right on over to Altenew's and start at the beginning.